Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for an interesting article and a bit of a yawn article, if you ask me. But it's part of the news, so we'll talk about it. And I'd like to address it actually, because I think it's an interesting situation that we find ourselves in. And I think it's a bit of a dangerous road that we need to be very careful about going down. Because I think that the article that was published by stuff.co.za in NZ is dangerous in terms of a precedent setting with regards to officiating. So we're talking about a report that has claimed that the All Blacks should not have had a try ruled out and during the Rugby World Cup final. And apparently World Rugby admitting that was the case. But no official confirmation from World Rugby, nothing on record, for example. It's a lot of he said, she said. So let's dive into the report, shall we, and see what has been said and what the situation is. Right, so in terms of the incident in question, they are talking about Aaron Smith, who went over in the 54th minute. The try was then ruled out when the TMO spotted a knock-on by RWC at the line, which was the source of the attacking set of possession. After reviewing replays, referee Wayne Barnes then disallowed the try, but apparently he should not have done so. So the report says, and I quote, World Rugby has privately acknowledged to the All Blacks that the ruling out of Aaron Smith's try in the final was, in fact, outside the rules, but is refusing to publicly acknowledge that. That's what this report says. It says that the reason that it was incorrect in being ruled out, it says that New Zealand had taken the ball through 4 phases before scoring, but the TMO only has license to look back 2 phases for any irregularity in the build-up of a try. It says that the TMO protocol update in 2022, they now say that the TMO can intervene for all clear and obvious knock-on or throw forward infringements within 2 phases leading to a possible try. What I will immediately say is that the try that did get awarded and was not ruled out, for me, was a clear forward pass, and I'm not quite sure how that was allowed to or went forward, when Bowden Barrett went over, when it spilled off to the side after the Damien Williams tackle. So personally, I think, even if there was license to sit there and say that the TMO shouldn't have ruled it out, I personally think it's 1 versus 1. But even if they were to admit this, they're basically saying is, no, 100%, there was a knock-on. So the try should not have stood because the referees in theory should have picked up the knock-on. Yes, decisions will go it's different ways. But he shouldn't have ruled it out. So, not denying that it was a knock-on because it was definitely a knock-on, but allegedly saying that the TMO shouldn't have been involved because it was more than 2 phases. The report also talks about the fact that they are apparently still engaging between World Rugby and the All Blacks, and apparently New Zealand Rugby wants to get them to publicly clarify the TMO ruling was a breach of existing protocols. This does come very much across the sour grapes, to be perfectly honest. And I think I think it's poor. I think we're sitting on 3 weeks on, and officiating errors are always going to happen. I'm pretty sure if you go and rewatch the match with a microscope and you watch every single sort of phase by phase, you will find plenty of officiating mistakes against the Springboks, against the All Blacks. We go across the entire tournament, you will find plenty of officiating mistakes. There's always going to be mistakes, and I think that if this is really true that New Zealand Rugby are sitting there putting pressure on World Rugby to publicly acknowledge that was the wrong decision, again, I think that comes across as really poor from them, to be honest. At the end of the day, it was a great game. One team lost, one team won, which happens. The officiating is always going to be the center of debate. But, World Rugby were so quick to sit there and say we need to respect our officials, to expect the process and stuff like that, that they need to be careful about this kind of thing, and this alleged report, which you don't even know. I mean, it could have been absolute rubbish, this whole sort of have privately acknowledged. Okay, well, I can claim that. I can make that claim. I can make a claim that they privately acknowledged to me that Eben Etzebeth actually won World Player of the Year by votes, but they actually decided to just, not give it to him. So it's pure speculation. And I do think it's very dangerous to sit there and throw around articles and throw around the idea of privately acknowledged. And, this is what's happening inside. So, is there a World Rugby leak? Are they fabricating stories? Which I'm not going to go as far as to say. But it's unfortunate that, after one of the best World Cup finals we've seen, one of the best World Cups, I think, from a competitive perspective we've seen in a long time, that we're now sitting here 3 weeks on talking about referees. It's such a tiring, or 2 weeks on talking about referees. For me, it's such a tiring conversation, and it's pointless. What are you going to do? Go and retrospectively take away the World Cup? You can't.
So I think it's a bit of a moot point, but I thought I'd jump on here and just talk a little bit about exactly what's been said, what has been said, what has been confirmed, what hasn't been confirmed. And the reality is that despite all the various claims, nothing official has come out of World Rugby regarding that call. So until something does, it's all speculation at this stage. But let me know what you think. Do you think that they are right to feel aggrieved? I personally think that there was a knock on to build up of the try that was awarded. So even if this is a thing, even though they knocked it on, so it shouldn't have been a try, I don't think they can really complain. That's my perspective. What is yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.